Hey everybody, thanks for coming fishing with me today. Today was kind of a mixed bag. You can see my jig dropping down right up there. I've got it highlighted because a lot of pollen in the water today, and kind of hard to keep up with where the jig was. So there'll be a lot of highlights in here today. Watch this though. So this is a big brush pile. You can see a lot of bluegill up top, and there's crappie in the center of this thing. Now I lose my jig right here. I can't see where it is. It's somewhere in this brush, right? I can feel the brush as I'm kind of picking my way through it, hoping I don't get hung up. And I'm after those brighter spots down there. But watch this. I get hung up here a little bit, and I bet this has happened to a lot of y'all, right? So I'm trying to bump it up. I get unhung, and as soon as I do, bam, I get it strikes. That happens so much to me. As soon as the jig pops off of a tree or a limb or whatever it's hung up on, that's a good crappie. I only caught good crappie today, and I didn't catch many. But look at that one. They were all about 11-inch, 12-inch fish. I didn't catch many because I only fished for. Look at all those down there. So those are brim. Those are bluegill hanging out right around the bottom there in a big school. I didn't know what it was whenever I targeted those fish. I thought that's what it may have been. Watch. And that's a jig. That's a little 1/64 ounce jig that they hit. Man, I had a lot of fun catching those things. But like I only fished for crappie and bluegill for I don't know, maybe an hour and a half. And so it was one after the other whenever I switched over to crappie and bluegill. That's not what I came out here to do today. My intention was to go out here and catch largemouth bass. This is Caney, Lake Caney, the Caney Creek Reservoir. All right, watch this one. He's coming right over his head. He didn't notice it at first. It kind of had to pass over him for this one to chase after it. And there he is. There's recording kind of locked up there for the LiveScope view, but you guys saw him chasing after it. That's the one that was hitting it. Another bluegill towards the bottom. They're hanging out. They're starting to group up in big groups towards the bottom. I've actually seen some beds already, some bluegill beds, while I was driving around scanning. So they're moving around. Oh, dropping down on this one. This may be, yeah, this is the big one. See that big mark? I thought that was a crappie there because he was kind of off by himself, and it was a bigger mark. He was moving around a lot, but it was a big mark by himself. I was pretty sure it was crappie, and when I hooked into it, I was definitely sure I had a crappie on there. That's not a crappie. That is a monster brand. Look at that thing. That's an 8-inch fish. I've kept crappie that size or smaller, and that he was a big one, big one. I I was I felt like a kid when I caught that thing. I was so excited. It's one of the bigger ones that I've ever caught. I don't normally target bluegill unless I'm with my kids, but man, I had fun catching these things. Look at that joker. Yeah, I may come out here one day and just go after. I'll bring some worms or crickets or something and go just see how many of these things I can catch. I'm pretty sure I would have loaded the boat up with them if I had been targeting these today because they were active and hungry. That's a crappie. You see him laid out down there? That elongate here. He sees it. He turned up and got it. Whenever they turn up like that, it's on. If they're under it and they pan up, where they're facing up vertical, that's it. Now I'm gonna swap over to the original audio for this last catch, just to give you guys a little sense of what it was like out here today. It was a beautiful day. And so, like I said, I came out here to bass fish today, and I tried for 3.5 hours to catch some largemouth. I found schools of them. Could not get them to bite, and I threw 20 different lures in 20 different ways. Couldn't get them to bite anything. So as soon as I swapped over to crappie and bluegill, I caught them nonstop for like an hour and a half. So I wound up having some fun, but I will get these bass figured out in Caney. I'm I'm stubborn. I'm not gonna give up on it. So expect to see some more pretty soon. Thank y'all for watching. I appreciate it. I'll see y'all again soon.